Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the verse number 4 of the 9th chapter of the first canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Drishtva nipatitam bhumau divaschutam ivamaram pranemuhu pandava bhishmam sanuga sahachakrina. The meaning of this verse is, seeing him, that means seeing Bhishma, lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandava king Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers and Lord Krishna, bowed down before him. We have to note that Krishna is referred to as Chakri. Chakri means one who carries the chakra. That is Krishna, another name for Krishna. Shankhi, Chakri, like that there are names for Krishna. So here Krishna is referred to as Chakri. And Srila Prabhupada explains, Lord Krishna was also a younger cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthira, as well as the intimate friend of Arjuna. Krishna was related to the Pandavas as a younger cousin, because by age Krishna was younger than Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Yudhishthira Maharaj's mother Kunti and Krishna's father Vasudeva were sister and brother, Kunti and Vasudeva. So therefore Krishna was the younger cousin of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Krishna was also related to Arjuna in the same way as a cousin, but more importantly, Krishna and Arjuna were intimate friends. Intimate friends. So, in addition to being a cousin, Arjuna was also intimate friend of Krishna. But all the family members of the Pandavas knew Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the 5 brothers, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, Arjuna, everyone knew Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Draupadi, Kunti, everyone knew Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord, although conscious of his supreme position, always behaved in a humanly custom, and so he also bowed down before the dying Bhishma Deva as if he, that means Krishna, were one of the younger brothers of King Yudhishthira. Now, this is very significant that when the Pandavas have come to see Bhishma, Bhishma is an elderly person compared to the Pandavas. So Pandava's grandfather, Pandu's father's brother. So in that way, the Pandavas are perfectly right or correct in bowing down to Bhishma Deva, grandsons. They are offering their respects to the elderly grandfather, well-wisher and affectionate grandfather, But why is Krishna bowing down before Bhishma when Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Now we have to carefully understand, Srila Prabhupada explains, even though Krishna is always conscious, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is eternally so, but still he behaves in a humanly way when he comes to this material world for the sake of his pastimes. So Krishna behaves in a particular way, in a particular situation, which we have to understand from the scriptures as explained by the acharyas. So Krishna's personality is not like the personality of any other human being. Krishna's personality is a lot different than that of any other personality. So the difference can be understood only if we hear about Krishna from the Vaishnava Acharyas as they explain based on the authentic Shastras, Vaishnava scriptures. So, I can give an example. The Bhagavatam says that Krishna's activities are of two kinds. One action, one set of actions Krishna performs in his incarnation as Krishna are those which he wants to teach the common people ideal behavior of a human being. So Krishna, when he was in Dwaraka, whenever he would come back from his assembly house, Sudharma, after finishing his duties as the king of Dwaraka, then he would actually enter his palaces by expanding himself into 16,108 forms, because he had married 16,108 queens, princesses, and they became queens because Krishna was the king. And he would interact with his queens exactly like an ideal husband should interact with his wife. Now Krishna knows his position. Krishna is also aware that all the queens are his devotees. The queens know Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but in his interaction, he taught by his own example how an ideal husband should actually take care of his wife. Now Krishna, in the morning when he wakes up very early, even though he is lying comfortably with his wife, the queen. But he wakes up and he performs his duties as a householder. Now these duties are described in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, 10th canto. These duties are performed by Krishna to teach how an ideal householder should perform householder's duties. He would go and pay respect to his mothers. Of course, his mother is Devaki, but Vasudeva, his father, had 16 queens. So the other queens of Vasudeva were stepmothers of Krishna. Nonetheless, Krishna would respect all the stepmothers on an equal level with Devaki, his own mother. So this is ideal behavior of Krishna. They all know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they also know Krishna is behaving in this way to teach by his own example how an ideal householder should carry out the duties of a householder. Grihastha ashrama dharma. Krishna is teaching by his own example. He would give cows in charity to the Brahmanas. Now the Brahmanas know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna has no obligation to anybody. He is in fact the maintainer of everyone. So what obligation can he have for any Brahmana or for any other living being? He is the maintainer of all the living beings. Eko bahunam yo vidhati kaman. But to teach by his own example, Acharya. Acharya means one who teaches by his own achar, by his own behavior, by his own actions. So Krishna's one set of activities are meant for teaching the common man about the proper behavior. Now another set of actions Krishna performs are unique to his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is the position as the Supreme Lord is eternally true. Even though he appears like a human being, he is the Supreme Lord. His powers are always with him. They are never lost. They are never ineffective. So, for example, when he's playing with the cowherd boys in Vrindavan, he's like another cowherd boy. But when a demon comes to attack Krishna, Krishna effortlessly, playfully, he simply kills the demon. And the cowherd boys, they are very happy that some demon came to disturb us, and Krishna just killed the demon very easily. So they are all very happy. They embrace Krishna. Well done, excellent, excellent. And they continue their play. They never pause to think, Krishna is another cowherd boy like us. How could he have killed that demon? We cannot kill. How can Krishna kill? They never think. That is the action of Yogamaya. By Yogamaya's influence, everyone participating in Krishna Leela, all the devotees, that is, all the devotees. Other than Krishna, everyone else is devotee of Krishna. So the devotees, except Balaram, of course. Balaram is not in the position of a devotee. He acts like a devotee, but he is not like the other devotees belonging to a different tattva. He is actually an expansion of Krishna. But still, for the sake of Krishna's pastimes, he also behaves like one of the other cowherd boys. He also behaves as a devotee of Krishna. As another cowherd boy. So, all the cowherd boys being influenced by Yogamaya, they forget Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, though they know that. The fact is known, but for the sake of Krishna's pastime, they forget that. They don't consider that. They think Krishna is one among them. And if you have a friend who is your equal, and if the friend does something very nice, then you appreciate the friend, embrace him, are very happy, you congratulate him like that. The cowherd boys exactly behave that way with Krishna when Krishna kills a demon. But we understand that demon was no ordinary demon. He was sent by Kamsa. He had so many mystic powers. He was a terror for everyone else. But Krishna effortlessly killed him because Krishna is supremely powerful. So, therefore, we understand such activities of Krishna as those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Brahma stole the calves and the cowherd boys, Krishna actually expanded himself as the calves and cowherd boys. Now Brahma came back after hiding those calves and cowherd boys who were stolen by Brahma, using Brahma's mystic power. He was hiding them somewhere. And when Brahma came back after one moment of his time, already 1 year had passed on the earth. And Krishna had expanded himself, so nobody knew that the cowherd boys and the calves, original cowherd boys and calves, were kidnapped by Brahma, and they were hidden by Brahma in some place away from the earth planet, and they were all sleeping in under the mystic power, a spell cast by Brahma, by Brahma's mystic power. But nobody knows in Vrindavan. How is that? Krishna has expanded exactly resembling each of the cowherd boys and each of the calves. And Brahma came and saw there is a second set of the same cowherd boys and calves playing with Krishna. So Brahma was bewildered. He knows he has hidden the calves and cowherd boys he has stolen in his particular place, and he knows by his mystic power they are all sleeping under the spell of his mystic power. But Brahma also is seeing a second set, and who are these second set of cowherd boys and calves? Brahma is wondering. So like this, Krishna's second set of activities are those to help, meant for helping us understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So we have to understand, when Krishna bows down to Bhishma Deva, it is teaching us how a younger one should show respect to an elderly, superior, worshipable personality. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.